Welcome back to Valkyria Chronicles. Today we're going to have mostly a reading episode. We'll start with catching up on our personnel. So we've got Asara here. The consistent prejudice she faced since childhood due to her darkson blood has fostered not bitterness, but respect for the brother who always stood up for her. Then we've got Largo. Believing that frontline experience is everything, he has consistently rejected all offers of promotion and continued his career as a foot soldier. Despite Rosie's education, and with it her military training, ending at middle school level, experience with her town watch earned her the rank of corporal. Next we've got Maximilian and Silveria. So he's said to grant opportunities to talented subordinates regardless of social rank. He's also known to ruthlessly dispose of anyone useless to his purposes. Then we've got Silveria. Undefeated since she began work as one of Maximilian's commanders, her forays into the nations around the Empire have struck with the force of a tidal wave, which is entirely unsurprising if you saw what we saw last episode. So, let us check out the glossary. Here's where we'll actually figure out what the deal is with all of this entire setting. So we'll start with the Principality of Gallia. Full of nature and rich in ragnite ore, Gallia borders the Empire to the east and the Federation on its western edge. This small Central European nation, is a constitutional monarchy ruled by House Randgreaves, the hereditary sovereigns of Gallia. The first ruling ancestor of the house, revered as the legendary hero of the ancient War of the Valkyrie, built a castle on the site of what is now the capital city Randgreaves, establishing it as the seat of Gallian rule. Despite its size of only 38,567 square kilometers and a population of just over 430,000, it boasts a rich and unique culture. The official currency is the ducat, and it is characterized by policies of armed neutrality and universal conscription. So Gallia's history. It was formally born in the 3rd century when Castle Randgreaves was built and rule over surrounding areas began. When the Empire invaded Gallia at the turn of the 19th century, the king renounced his crown, instead ruling over an autonomous region within the Empire as Archduke. But as democratic movements swept across Western Europa, the Archduke harnessed that energy in Gallia to push for freedom from the Empire, resulting in the War of Gallian Independence. Stretched thin between multiple fronts, the Empire was unable to maintain its hold, and the small nation rose as the independent Principality of Gallia, declaring neutrality and establishing a system of universal conscription. With the sea at its north and west and thick forest shielding it to the south, Gallia is naturally fortified against invasion, historically allowing it to repel even significantly larger foes. Hilly plains cover 60% of the nation's land, and its mountains contain a rich store of ragnite ore, a valued source of energy. Large cities dot the flatlands to the north, while the rest is largely occupied by lush farmland. Gallia enjoys a temperate oceanic climate with little variation in rain levels throughout the year, and the soil is highly fertile. Because growing conditions for livestock and grain are equally favorable, Gallia practices a mixed form of agriculture. Alright, so let's read about rule. This small town lies on the imperial border at the eastern edge of Gallia. Windmills stand atop the crests of many of the region's rolling hills, but Few are as large as the so-called sister mills built from an old castle tower in the heart of town. Because it radiates out from the mill, Brule is also known as Miller's Home. The town supposedly began as a hideout for Royal Guard soldiers who'd revolted against the king. Perhaps an echo of that, this town of just under 8,000 nonetheless has an active town watch, and Brulers are famed for taking pride in guarding their homes themselves. Exports include dairy and bread made from locally grown wheat. Then we've got the capital city, Rangries. The capital of Gallia since its days as a monarchy. This ancient city has the longest history of any in Europa. The city takes its name from the ancient war hero who founded it and began rule over the surrounding area, the ancestor of today's House Rangries. Surrounded by castle walls stretching 1 kilometer in diameter, the entire city stands as a citadel and contains the seat of Gallia's politics, economy, and culture. Castle Rangries, home to the Archduke, marks the iconic heart of the capital. Its single magnificent tower has been likened to a unicorn's horn, giving rise to the national crest that bears the likeness of the mythical beast. So, our military headquarters. The Gallian army's central base stands amid a wooded area at the outskirts of the capital, known informally as Fort Ametrian, in honor of General Ametrian, who was responsible for restructuring Gallia's military and establishing this facility during European War I. Within its walls lie the army's command room, offices, training grounds, hangars for weapon storage and maintenance, and other military facilities. It also holds living quarters, a mess hall, infirmary, and a relaxation lounge for the soldiers themselves. Even R&D work on inventing new weaponry takes place in an on-base facility with mechanics and engineers hard at work there around the clock. Next we've got the Great Vassal Bridge. This massive iron drawbridge spans the Vassal River, which flows into Lake Graz near the walls of Castle Rangries. The bridge has its origins in the late medieval era, when it was built with 2 towers at either bank as part of a ring of defensive installations around the capital. A 19th century renovation saw it made into a retractable drawbridge with a unique accordion fold design that allowed it to be operated by extending and retracting a single pair of cables. The city of Vassal grew out from either side of the bridge, prosperous in its role as a transit gateway between the Gallian capital and the outside world due to its key position on both ground routes and a series of canals connecting it to the North Sea. And we've got the Cloden Wildwood. This expansive primeval forest stretches across Gallia's south, forming a natural border with the Empire. Poor roads, violent peaks and valleys, and extremely dense vegetation combine to impede travelers while baffling their natural sense of direction. Thought to be impenetrable except by foot, Cloden has been a living fortification against invasion since Gallia's inception. The woods are home to foxes, squirrels, and rabbits, as well as larger animals like deer and boar, and rarities such as the porcavian. Beeches form the majority of this deciduous forest, also rich in elm and oak. Untouched by human hands, some of Cloden's trees are thought to be over 1,000 years old. Then we've got the Citadel at Ghirlandaio. Massive and stalwart, this fortress sits on the Gallian imperial border. Built in the Middle Ages as a castle along a key route linking Gallia to Eastern Europa, it now stands as a modern fortress. Following European War I, it served as a checkpoint controlling the flow of people and goods into and out of Gallia. At the onset of European War II, Imperial forces claimed it for use by Commander Maximilian and his top echelon officers as a base of operations for the ensuing large-scale invasion. After claiming the citadel, the Empire outfitted its facade with powerful fixed cannons and began to use the structure as a storehouse for weaponry to be used in the Gallian incursion. So the Barious Desert, where we just were, This is an arid desert devoid of all vegetation. Covers the eastern Gallian Basin area, several tens of kilometers across. Allegedly scorched as a result of the so-called Darkson calamity, and the area has been reduced to a huge, uniquely shaped crater with a host of deep crags issuing out from a massive gulch at the basin's center. Thought to be the result of a massive explosion, these fissures in the ground match standing rock formations full of large circular holes. The remnants of human dwellings dot the eroded landscape, suggesting that this area was once the site of a large city. These days, violent sandstorms assail travelers, and visitors to the region are few. Then we've got the various ruins antechamber. The structures found across the Badlands and the temple at the crater's core are collectively called the various ruins. The main temple is said to have been built by the ancient Valkyria. It was constructed using giant slabs of ragnite-rich stone in an architectural style found nowhere else in Gallia. Inside, the walls of the antechamber are inscribed with a history of the Darkson calamity and the War of the Valkyria, written in Old Northern script. Decorated with a motif believed to be a representation of the Valkyria people, known as the Valkyrian Spiral. The Grand Hall also holds a door leading down into the inner sanctum, closed tight to bar the entry of all outsiders. Alright, then we've got Europa, the entire continent that we're a part of. As a resource-rich part of the largest landmass in the Northern Hemisphere, this land has inspired those with dreams of domination for millennia. In ancient times, the Valkyria managed to unite Europa under their rule, giving rise to a number of kingdoms. Subsequent divisions arose as influential leaders within each of the kingdoms chose to splinter off to form new nations. It was not long before the first campaigns of conquest began. By the 1800s, the balance of power lay split between the East European Imperial Alliance and the Atlantic Federation, with the small nations in their shadows left to weather the waves caused by the clash of these two behemoths. Then we've got the East European Imperial Alliance. So, this is a conglomerate of nations, united under the rule of the East European Emperor, commonly referred to as the Empire. The Industrial Revolution that occurred when ragnite was discovered as a useful energy source saw the nations of Eastern Europa, pioneers in machine technology, rise to power. Already tightly bound by a network of marriages amongst their royalty, these nations now joined hands in a formal international alliance. While not technically an autocracy, the Emperor enjoys limitless authority within the alliance. The Empire retains customs and practices held over from medieval times, and its people are known to harbor conservative views, including a strong hatred for the Darkson race. The European calendar is used across Europa, has at its origin the Valkyria conquest of the continent. For this reason, it is also known as the Valkyrian calendar. Each year is counted in relation to the year the Darkson people were subdued and Europa was united as a continent. Years predating the unification are denoted as BC, or before conquest. Well, isn't that convenient? Wouldn't it be nice if it was like, instead of EC, it was also like AD, as in like, after Darksons. So we've got the First European War. Friction between the Federation and Empire surrounding ragnite resources escalated into a continent-wide war, European War I. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th century led to skyrocketing demand for ragnite, pitting Europa's twin giants in a race for resources. When the Crown Prince of the Empire was assassinated at the start of the 20th century, tension spiraled into all-out war, though the Imperial force employed a corps of newly developed tanks, Hostilities soon became bogged down in fruitless trench warfare, and the two exhausted powers ultimately signed a ceasefire agreement. During the war, Gallia's military, led by General Belgan Gunther's Tank Corps, foiled an Imperial invasion attempt. Then we got the Second European War, which I believe we are a part of right now. Beginning as an Imperial incursion into the Federation land, European War II quickly engulfed the entire continent in what became the largest-scale war in Europa's history. Though European War I ended in a stalemate, both powers had spent the intervening years stockpiling arms and preparing for the inevitable return to hostilities. After a short 20-year pause, the Empire began the invasion anew, taking 3 of the Federation's border republics in quick succession. The Federation responded with a formal declaration of war. It wasn't long before the forces of both superpowers began to spill across the borders of other neighboring nations. Soon, all of Europa was caught up in a war that dwarfed all those in memory. Then we've got the War of the Valkyria. That must have taken place a long time ago. The ancient Valkyria united the European continent after subjugating the Darksons in this half-legendary war of conquest. By circa 30 BC, the Darksons are said to have ravaged much of Europa, wielding the dark arts to harness the destructive potential of Ragnite in their heedless power struggles. Suddenly, an immigrant population known as the Valkyria emerged from the north, bearing a divine power, in the form of lances and shields bathed in blue light. Using those to halt the Darkson rampage, they brought peace to Europa, according to inscriptions found in ruins across Europa. According to unifying the land under their, in addition to unifying the land under their rule, the Valkyria are credited for the birth of modern European culture. Next we've got Old Northern script. The written form of Old Northern, the lingua franca of Europa, following its unification under Valkyria rule. It uses a set of characters comprised of vertical, horizontal, and angled strokes, no longer legible to most contemporary Europeans. Inscriptions on the monuments discovered across the continent suggest that the script served both as a tool of everyday communication and in rituals. It has been shown that Valkyria royalty and members of the high clergy used a ceremonial variant of the script, though surviving examples are extremely rare. The ancient Darksons were also thought to have their own written language, but no material evidence remains today to support that theory. Geez, like even their entire language was wiped out. The Valkyria were very thorough. So, next we've got the Valkyria themselves. These immigrants from the north are said to have united the devastated continent under one rule in ancient times. Though believed to be an oceanic tribe that crossed into Europa via the North Sea, much of their historical origin remains unproven by archaeological fact. Their Ragnite weaponry allegedly granted them unparalleled power over the Darkson natives, and though other accounts suggest that their very bodies exuded a strange blue light that allowed them to perform superhuman feats, where historical fact ends and legend begins, none can say, but we've seen for our own eyes that does in fact happen. By the end of the 2nd century after the conquest, interbreeding with the native population is thought to have all but ended the pure Valkyrian bloodline. Which could mean that maybe Alicia is part of that interbreeding and she's descended from a Valkyria. So we've got the Darksons. These are Europa's oldest indigenous race, said to have lived across the continent since ancient times. They're characterized by dark blue-black hair and shawls bearing the traditional Darkson pattern. I mean, not that they have to wear shawls, but I guess it's just a common cultural thing. History tells of a Darkson calamity in which this race devastated the continent until the Valkyria defeated them in the War of the Valkyria. For their crimes of senseless destruction, the Darksons were stripped of their last names and chased from their jobs and property, and remain the targets of hatred and persecution. Recent use of Darkson labor to mine and smelt ragnite in refinery sites full of pungent oils has given rise to a new set of stereotypes. Despite endless derision and persecution, the Darksons remain a proud race with a rich, unique culture. So I guess that's why most of them say that they stink. It's because that they're often forced to work in mines. Universal conscription. One of Gallia's national precepts states that all citizens are eligible to be drafted into service in times of war. Enacted as a way to enforce the position of armed neutrality adopted after Gallia won its independence, the law prescribes a 3-stage draft according to need, and applies to men and women alike. Schools of each level offer mandatory military education, and all citizens are required to graduate from middle school, meaning all Gallians have basic training in combat skills. Universities double as officer training schools, and graduates are eligible for the rank of lieutenant upon enlistment. The Gallian army, a self-standing self-defense force, serves to uphold Gallia's position of neutrality. As every citizen receives basic military training, most of Gallia is also guarded by independent watch groups, and defensive preparations are made on a town, neighborhood, and household level. In times of peace, Gallia's army is made up of 80,000 ground units, 10,000 marine units, and 2,000 military police units in addition to the autonomous town watches found across the nation. When at war, a militia is drafted from the civilian public and assembled under that standing force, called the Gallian army. Officers from the Gallian army are assigned to lead militia regiments and battalions as necessary. The Imperial Army, led by the Emperor. The Empire's politics are still largely controlled by the aristocracy. The military is no exception, with several of the highest positions held by the Emperor's blood relatives and close affiliates. Operating under a code of conduct with roots in the medieval ideal of knightly chivalry, troops are expected to give their all in fidelity to the Emperor. The Imperial Army was the first to make and employ tanks, their replacement for armored cavalry units. A development that redefined war in Europa and secured the Empire's military superiority. Now we've got the Gallian National Arsenal. As the nation's only arms manufacturer, the National Arsenal both develops and constructs all of Gallia's weapons. Seeing the production of arms as a part of national defense, leaders elected to end weapons importation and founded a new domestic arsenal during European War I. This also helped keep weapons technology and plans from leaking to foes. Professor Tamer, creator of the tank that war hero General Gunther operated, was a major player in the arsenal's initial staff, matched only by Bernard Brondel in skill. Brondel, who rose to lead the arsenal, is said to have amassed his considerable knowledge through close friendships with a number of talented Darkson engineers. So tanks. At the turn of the 20th century, a time when trench combat was the primary form of warfare, these armored vehicles were created to break across defensive lines. Their design employs a Ragnaline fuel combustion engine in which energy is harnessed from the explosive ignition of liquid ragnite. Byproducts include a distinctive blue light and extreme heat, requiring the addition of a radiator at the tank's rear to prevent overheating. Originally used to cross trenches and as foot soldier support, economic and technological advances have seen tanks grow to fill a number of combat roles. After the Empire employed highly mobile attack tanks in European War I, all of Europa began to develop new vehicles, leading to the diverse array of models seen today. And we've got the Batamus that we just fought. The Batamus. Top speed 30 kilometers per hour. Maximilian, the leader of the Imperial invasion, commanded this massive tank. It represents the enhanced version of an existing design created to fell enemy castles or fortresses. Under orders from Maximilian, the body was reinforced and fitted with a Ragnite cannon, adding to its already formidable capabilities. It played heavily in the Empire's seizure of the citadel at Ghirlandaio. Valkyria common knowledge. Legends of the War of the Valkyria and a number of traditions that stem from this ancient people can be found in all areas of Europa, and a basic awareness of the Valkyria's existence pervades the land as common knowledge. The generally held view of this race is as saviors of the continent who led all of Europa to prosperity, with some going as far as to worship them as divinities. That said, the bloodline is believed to have died out long ago, resulting in a thinning out of their presence within the popular consciousness. Today, there are many who view them as less as a historical fact than as stuff of legend. Some Europans hold the Valkyria as the object of religious worship, known to have possessed superhuman abilities. The Valkyria are understood as either gods or the vassals of gods in several sects, the largest of them known as Igdism. The Igdist faith arose at the start of the 3rd century and gradually spread to all regions of Europa. Its tenets hold that the Valkyria were a race of gods, and its mythology draws heavily from the northern legends brought in during the conquest. Because beliefs have traditionally taken the form of popular superstitions tied closely to everyday practices, regional differences abound, blurring the lines between one sect and the next. The lance and shield. Unearthed from excavation sites across the continent, these weapons are thought to have been wielded by the Valkyria. The shields are round, while the lances take the shape of a spiral shell made from ragnite, more pure than even current refining technology can produce. While some variation exists among the weapon's shapes, all of them bear a design known as the Valkyrian spiral as a core motif. Because contact with a Valkyria triggers a physical alteration to the weapon's shape, they are believed to serve as amplifiers for the race's preternatural abilities. Finally, we've got Ragnite itself. As Europa's primary energy source, this ore has become vital to daily existence. It luminesces a characteristic blue hue when releasing the energy it contains. Mined primarily in mountainous regions, the raw ore is then refined for use in any number of applications. Though the ore's existence was known in ancient times, it was not until the Valkyria brought their refinery technology to Europa that its use began. Since the Industrial Revolution, it has become a vital ingredient to human civilization. A surging need for tank fuel and weaponry derived from the ore has recently driven Europa's nations to expand their borders in a growing war for resources. Depending on the refinery methods used, ragnite ore can produce various forms of energy suited to a spectrum of needs. Refined into liquid ragnaline, it can fuel lamps or power vehicles, granting it a broad range of civilian uses. Its military applications include tank fuel, an incendiary agent in flamethrowers, the explosive payload in hand grenades, and countless others. Medical scientists recently learned that the ore also acts as a painkiller, developing a controlled disinfectant and restorative agent known as Ragnade. New properties and applications for the ore continue to be discovered daily, and few doubt that this resource will only continue to grow in use and value. Next we've got a lion's paw. This is a perennial plant found across Gallia, near and dear to the hearts of many as a sort of informal symbol of the nation. Distinguishing characteristics include small white star-shaped flowers and seed tufts often carried off by the wind like tiny snowflakes. Its leaves spread close to the ground's surface in clusters, with stalks bearing the plant's flowers at their center. As an exceptionally hardy plant, they are known to thrive even under adverse conditions, weathering times of extreme hardship to bloom again the next year. And lastly, let's learn what the deal is with these Porcavians. This is a winged cousin to the common pig found in wooded areas in Central Europa. Generally smaller than other porcines, this subspecies is further distinguished by the wing-shaped appendages that grow from its back. Because it is incapable of flight, the biological term wing does not strictly apply. Though some have argued that its wings are an adaptation that makes these pigs better suited to life in their habitat, no convincing explanation of Porcavian evolution has emerged. affectionate and intelligent, they are sometimes kept as pets. So basically the wings are just basically decorative. They're not actually useful at all. Alright, next we've got weaponry. We don't need to go too deep in this, but we can check out the ZM car. This is crafted by the Empire's top arms maker, Zekmeister, ZM Corp. Alright, so that's what ZM stands for. This rifle is one of the factors that enabled the Imperial armies to sweep across Europa. Substantially lighter than conventional rifles, the ZM car greatly improved unit mobility and won the thanks of those forced to carry them on their march. Its distinctive axe shape earned it the nickname Francisca among its users. We've got the Mags, a military machine gun. European War I saw a variety of firearms developed to suit a broad spectrum of needs. Among them, the machine gun's stopping power made it exceptionally popular among arms makers, both within Gallia and abroad. Though models of all shapes and sizes saw use in combat, the Mags machine gun was especially prized on the front lines for its portability. Excelling in rapid-fire speed and ease, it exhibited unparalleled performance in the close quarters of trench and urban operations. Next we've got the ZM MP. This is probably the Zekmeister machine gun. Alright, so it boasts a degree of refinement so high it was lauded as Zekmeister's ultimate masterpiece. Excelling in firepower, accuracy, and portability, it represents the pinnacle of everything required of a machine gun. Further sweetening the deal is the high concentration of pressed parts easily manufactured at low cost. With these guns in hand, Imperial forces crossed Europa unchecked by the Federation and other nations. Although, what about the Galleon? Yeah, we already read that, but anyway. VBPL. This is the Imperial Lansard. This weapon could rightfully be called the grandfather of all anti-tank lances, developed by von Bismarck under the direction of founder Adolf von Bismarck, a leader in explosive research. As the first major power to realize the tank's battle potential, the Empire was also active in developing the means for combating enemy tanks. The designation PL comes from the term Panzer Lance. What does GSR stand for? Ah, Military Sniper Rifle. So this must be the Galleon one. The GSR sniper rifle has its origin as a rifle made for use on horseback, built with all of the know-how amassed during the Galleon S's development. Its defining feature is a variable zoom sniper scope. Built in an area of semi-automatic handguns, the fully manual bolt-action GSR was half obsolete by the time it hit the production lines, but its exceptional firing accuracy and brilliantly made safety saw it continue to see use until the very end of the European War II. The ZM-SG. Ah, so this is the Imperial sniper rifle. Based on an infantry gun carried by many of the Empire's soldiers during European War I, particularly noted for its firing accuracy. The SG also featured a Rudolph Co. variable small-arm scope, lauded for its accuracy and uncommonly shock-resistant barrel. It first saw use with the Empire's Mountain Ranger units. Though the ZM-SG's design allowed for a bayonet to be affixed under the muzzle, there are very few instances of it being used during the Second European War. I mean, yeah, why would you need a bayonet on a sniper rifle? I guess because the rifle itself is not very good close range, so you would need a bayonet, I guess. Makes sense, actually. The B-type grenade. This is a hand grenade. A wooden handle extends from the simple can-type explosive, made from a powdered ragnite mix that emits a characteristic blue glow upon detonation. It uses a friction-based fuse system in which the user first removes the safety cap at the handle's end, then pulls the internal ripcord to spark the fuse. Because the bomb detonates a few seconds after the fuse is ignited, requiring the user to swiftly throw it, then seek cover from the blast, its operation requires some degree of safety training. Then we've got the VBWF. Similar in basic construction to those used elsewhere, this friction-fused hand grenade is the official standard within the Imperial Army. Though the time delay until detonation can be adjusted via the dial or screw on the side of the device, most users were hesitant to deviate from the timing that had been drilled into them in training. Then we've got the Lupus. This is the standard Imperial tank, I take it. One of the latest Imperial tank models was further enhanced specifically for General Jaeger to use in the invasion of Southern Gallia. Oh wait, yeah, this is Jaeger's. It looks pretty fancy, actually. Its treads are common for a heavy-class tank, but it sports an ambitious 122mm cannon, the largest in the Empire at the time it was developed. The use of sloped glacis painting, or plating, around the body represents just one portion of this beast's comprehensive defense. And then finally, we've got a medium tank. As the Imperial gold standard in European War II tank designs, over 12,000 of this model had been produced by 1935, the majority of which saw actual combat. It offers a solid balance between power, armor, and mobility at an exceptionally low price, making it highly versatile. Variants were made to suit a wide range of combat needs, and its ubiquitousness led imperialist soldiers to associate it with home, calling it the fatherland. Okay, that took a lot out of my throat. So that's everything we need for now, and now it should be easy to just catch up with things as they're updated. So, let's make a save. And, let's check headquarters. We'll start at the war cemetery.
Hello again, son. I'm sorry.
Oh. Nothing for us there. Next we've got Castlefront Street.
Writing on the wall? That's a good man. Oh, and how about the new ride? I couldn't help it.
So, Militia Routes Imp Commander. Central Gallian Command reports that a recent chance encounter with Maximilian, Imperial Commander of the Gallian invasion, near the ruins in Central Barius, ended in the Empire's defeat and retreat from the Badlands. Speaking with one Gallian soldier who fought in the desert operation revealed a shocking eyewitness account of one female soldier among the Empire's army batting a tank shell out of the air by brute force. Army doctors looked into the possibility of combat stress-induced hallucination, but several other testimonies have arisen to corroborate this wild account. Other reports suggest she resembled one of the Valkyria of legend, while the Gallian army has issued no official statement on the matter. Yeah, I imagine that's news, alright. Although I don't know if people are going to believe it. So we've got a new load in Gallian Southeast, which I assume means Ragnite. That's going to be an important place to guard, I guess. Chief Valence of the Gallian Geological Survey reported recent discoveries of 3 new loads of Ragnite amid the southeastern mountains. Imperial capture of the key cities in Ragnite-rich northern Gallia has meant a steady drain on domestic productivity, paired with a rising demand for Ragnite for military uses. Scarcity of the ore has become a critical problem. At the latest survey meeting, Chief Valence stated that the new discovery would likely go a long way toward filling the vacuum that has hounded the Gallian energy supply of late. Investigations into the size and quality of the newly found load are currently underway. Doesn't look like we have any new stuff here, so alright. So I think we're officially done reading for this episode. At least unless we unlock something else. Let's check the training field. So first, we'll get our snipers up. Then I think we want our scouts up. And shock troopers. And lancers. and then we'll start with that.
I got no use for tears. Good work, maggots. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the scout.
Alright, let's check that out. So, she's got first aid boost. That's cool. Nocturnal, so he can see visibly in the dark. That's good. Power Scout. Sighting 5 or more enemy units grants a boost in both evasion and attack power. Well, that's pretty useful. She's also got that. Ica is Nocturnal. Alright, cool. Next we will... we will do this. I think that sounds about right.
Bite the bullet! No pain, no gain! Good work, maggots! You're one level closer to human. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the snipers.
Alright, cool. So we even got a new potential. So that was worth it. So, backup sniping. All attack parameters enjoy a boost when shooting with no one else nearby. Extra shot. Perfect. That's really good for her. And Roof Hunter. Both evasion and attack power are enhanced when firing up at an elevated target. Cool. And also she has does she have Sniper Killer? No, she doesn't. That's him. Alright. But if she got that, that would be like, she would be an insanely good sniper for taking out other snipers. So, next we've got the R&D facility.
Well, kid.
So, these are both good. I don't know if we need any of these right now. Let's see what we got in terms of this stuff. Alright. Looks like pretty soon we're going to start having branching paths in these upgrade trees. Feels like I can just get everything, so I think I will. Now here is where things get tricky. This isn't gonna work. But this might. Although 25 extra HP for another block, I don't know. Let's try taking this off. And then we can move this over here. Let's see. I'd have to take out the coil spring to use this. So I think I'd rather get the extra HP. Oh. Okay. I didn't need to move these at all. Thought it was going to be horizontal, not vertical. Alright. So, we're all good with this, so now we can proceed with the story. Also, we should check the command room. We might have some new recruits.
Hello. Oh, and there have been some...
So we've got Oscar here. I think I might prefer him to Cesare. Let's see, is there anybody else? We've got Dorothy here. We don't really need her. Frisia. Montley. I don't need him. She might be pretty good. Desert Bread. Fancies Men. Is that bad? Yeah, it's enhanced accuracy, so it's actually good. Let me see. Can we replace a scout with her? Maybe Nancy? Actually, maybe Ted.
Thank you.
And Nancy. We'll get rid of both.
I'm Frisia York, handsome. I know you'll take real good care of me.
Alright, so we've got Oscar.
Hey, I'm Oscar Baylor. Thanks for taking me on board.
I think that covers that. Let's just double check these. I don't think we need any of these. Because I don't really want any of the scouts to have short range. Maybe the engineers could use some of that. Let's replace Edie's thing with the new upgraded one. Yeah, that's all we need to do. And Let's just read the personnel tab. Just read these updated people, just because. This is a Squad 7 shock trooper, age 18. Her family ran an ironworks facility in Fouzen. She dreams of designing accessories made of precious metals. And we've got Wavy. Known for his devotion to his wife, he enlisted to protect her and his infant daughter. Though a placid man, he fights ferociously to protect his loved ones. Montley, age 16. As a child of the Great Plains, he grew up around animals. One encounter with a longhorn stag left him deathly afraid of pointed objects. Frisia, age 18, called Dancer of the Sands. She roamed the desert as an entertainer until the Empire's attack killed business, driving her to enlist. We've got Aika, age 17, childhood friend and co-conspirator with Vice. She came with him from a far-off land, presumably Arcadia, although I don't know. Half for the adventure and half to keep him in line. Adversity only makes her stronger as she turns any problem around to resolution. The only two things that can stop this vibrant girl are ghosts and roaches. Burly, rugged, and stoic, he's had more than a few ladies approach him, but none have yet managed to sway him from his lone wolf ways. And we've got Oscar. Age 15, he enlisted in order to keep his sickly younger brother safe. The scar on his forehead tells of a childhood attempt to do the same. Alright, so now we can finally do that mission. We're only going to do the first one, though. We'll do 2A. We'll do the entire left page of this. Then we can move on to the second half next time.
Having been driven back, the Empire retreated from Barius, and Squad 7 began its return to the capital of Randgrease.
I'm worried, boss. The scouts were due back a long time ago. Haven't heard a thing.
Welkin, we should look. The enemy could be closer than we think.
Right.
Hold on! Where are you going? Don't be an idiot! Who's gonna drive the tank if you get hurt?
Largo! We've gotta move our butts now! 2 more minutes and we'll be dead!
Damn. No choice. We're outnumbered. Everybody take cover!
Come on, Isara! Now!
Right.
Where?
Welkin?
Oh, good. You're awake.
Where are we? Is everyone all right?
It looks like we got separated when that blast threw us down here.
Oh.
Alicia, there are probably still Imperials camped out up there. It's just a matter of time until they spot us here. We should move as soon as we can. Are you hurt anywhere? Do you think you can walk?
I think I'm fine. Ah! Scratch that. I think my ankle sprained, actually. But I should be okay. It's not too bad to walk on.
Sorry, I know it hurts, but you've got to tough it out for now.
Of course.
Great. Now, let's try to sneak out of this mess before we're spotted.
So, we've got another sneaking mission on our hands here. Although this one if I recall, is also a bit of an escort mission.
Alicia, here's a map of the area. Looks like they've got us surrounded.
So it's just Vulcan and Alicia here. Nobody else.
All right, ready to start moving? Let's sneak out of their perimeter without being spotted. Wow, it's really gotten dark. The lack of light means it's harder to see enemies in the distance, so watch out.
Ow!
Is your ankle gonna make it?
Sorry. I don't know how much I can run like this.
That's all right. You set the pace and I'll follow.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Is that sound a mortar?
Have they spotted us?
No, their aim is too far off. They're probably trying to scare us out with it. If we're careful, we can predict where they'll fire and steer clear of the target area.
Okay.
Here we go. Ah, gotta love nature. Hostile sighted!
Hey, Welkin, what's that light?
Oh, that's a luciferant. It's bioluminescent, the same sort of thing as a firefly. Hey, wait. The luciferant feeds mostly on manure. There could be an animal trail here. With luck, it might let us sneak past without the enemy spotting us.
I'd still like to take out the enemy if we can.
Take this! Yes!
There we go, we've got that, which is a useful plant, as I recall. So, Alicia is not going to be able to run very far.
Turn, okay?
Or very fast at all. But with 2 actions, she should be able to make it to that at least. Oh, Vulcan needs to be there. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, first things
Here we
first.
go. These leaves. Great. This is Ponicera.
What's up, Welkin?
It's a wild herb that works well on bruises. Just have to grind the stem and leaves down. Alicia, let me put this on your ankle.
It kind of stings. But I think it hurts a little less now. Thank you, Welkin.
Okay, let's push on ahead. We might find more Ponicera growing nearby.
Alright. So I think that makes her just... I'm not sure if it's permanent, but it makes her able to move just a little bit more. I think I'm gonna try and get her over here. Be nice if I could actually... If I had an engineer and I could get rid of those mines, but we're gonna have to navigate around that.
Moving out!
Actually, it seems like we may be able to cross this bridge.
Searchlights. This is bad news.
What do you figure will happen if they see us?
They'll radio our location to the mortars and we'll see them land a whole lot closer.
Not high on my list of good things. We'd better keep our heads down out here.
So we just don't want to get caught in that searchlight, and we'll be fine.
Moving out!
Hmm. There we go. I think this is good enough. It's a very silent mission. Alright, where's it headed now? That's not a great place for it to be.
Here we go. Gotta love nature. Enemy sighted!
Okay, I'm gonna need Alicia to somehow come and kill this guy. Which I feel like she should be able to do.
Okay?
Especially with 2 moves.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Or not. We might need a grenade.
Moving out.
I don't want to hit Welkin with this, but... Oh, I totally hit Welkin. My bad. Well, let's just hope nobody spots him. Let's hope it spends a couple turns there. Of course it doesn't.
Ready to go.
Let's see, where else might we be headed? I think we want to go... This is going around in a circle, so I can get here. Oh, there we've got some, whatever it is. Coniferous or something like that. So if I can get her here, then we'll be good.
My turn.
It's not going to be easy, though. I want to go this way, but I don't think that's safe. All right. Let's just stay here. Then we can view the event as Welkin, and hopefully that doesn't end our turn.
Ready to go. Alicia, here's some more Ponicera. Let's get this on that ankle.
All right. Thanks. It hurts even less now.
That's good, but still, don't push yourself. Enemy sighted! Hostile sighted!
This is not looking good for Welkin here. Yeah, great. We've got to redo that. At least we can skip all the dialogue this time. We can basically just do the exact same thing we did.
Sorry.
Alright.
My turn, okay?
So we'll start with her this time.
Enemy unit spotted.
Hey. What?
I wonder if she can take out this scout this time.
Don't even think of dodging. Please hit.
Perfect.
My turn, okay?
I kind of wonder if that guy would have been hit by his own mortar. Alright, now we just rush over there with Welkin.
Here we
We
go.
can view the event. Alright. You could just stay like this. Okay,
Moving out.
so she'll go first. Yeah, I see the searchlights. I wish there was a way to skip these cutscenes, but we can't. I've tried every button.
Moving out. Enemy unit spotted. Please hit.
At least we got that guy out of the way.
Here we go. Ah, gotta love nature.
I don't know if I even want to go in there, but I think we can get past it.
Nature.
Alright, I think I want Alicia to not be on the other side of this. I mean, well, you'll see what I mean.
My turn, okay? Pull it together.
Actually, never mind. She can totally get by.
My turn, okay?
Now looking. Heal up her a bit. And we're already back where we were.
Enemy sighted. Hostile sighted.
I don't know. Let's try it, I guess. Actually, I should have gone with Ragnade. Damn it. Although, they shouldn't be able to see where I am, so I don't know. Yeah. Well, this is gonna take a while. Don't worry, it's not that big a deal. We've got it down pat now. I just wish it were easier to skip all this stuff. I wonder. Is there like an option for that? No, I don't think so.
My turn, okay? spotted!
Well, Vulcan will kill him on his way over here.
Moving out!
Ready to go. Ah! Yes!
Thank you.
Alright. Okay, so we start with Alicia, as usual. I don't know what I'm gonna do about Ty the Immortal. Maybe just wait and see if he moves out of the way.
My turn, okay?
That was close. Alright, then Welkin comes in and deals with the enemy there. Should be over there. Or not.
Hostile sighted. Ah!
Wow. Well, he'll die as soon as he tries anything.
Take this.
feel like we need to stick to the grass on the side there. That's the only option. Oh wow, really? Did that kill her? I hope not.
Moving out.
Actually, it barely even touched her.
My turn, okay?
Come on. Here we go.
Here we go. Gotta love nature.
Heal Alicia.
Thank you.
And then we'll also heal her in this way. And this time we will just stay right here. Okay, so I'm going to try and stick to the grass this time.
Here we go.
I'm going to go as Welkin first,
Hostile
because...
sighted! Hostile sighted!
There we go. So we could just skip those guys. We can get this Ponifera, or Penicera, or whatever. Problem is, I want to get that Ty the Immortal guy because I want the ace bonus. And the question is, I have no idea how I'd do that. I think I need Alicia and Welkin together. Though I don't think we need the ace bonus that badly. I'd rather just finish the mission. Crap. Great.
Alicia!
Alright, I'll try one more time on screen. That part with Ty the Immortal, though, is really, really hard. I have no idea how to avoid them. You know what I think I have to do? I think we have to kill him.
Moving out.
We have to kill him from a position where he can't kill us, too. Because I managed to get to that position the first time. So I think that's it. That's the trick.
Now.
There we go.
My turn, okay?
Ready to go.
Heal her up.
My turn, okay?
Okay. Alicia.
My turn, okay?
Okay. It doesn't look like that's gonna hit. There's just an invisible wall there. It's not gonna hit. Well, I'll just have Vulcan take care of it.
Here we go. Now.
Or not.
Gotta love nature. Take this.
Alright, I think Alicia can get that guy.
Okay? Please hit.
Okay. So Vulcan's gonna need to heal.
Moving out.
Alright, next.
Here we
Vulcan.
go.
And then we put our plan into motion.
Gotta love nature.
Alright. So I think I've got this.
to go. Gotta love nature.
Actually, it seems like he's not even there.
Hostile sighted. Take this.
Well, I'm fine with taking a little longer, even if it means... Or as long as we survive, anyway.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature. Ready to go.
There we go. I'm glad we at least killed that guy.
Yes.
So we're gonna need another turn to kill Ty the Immortal.
Ready to go.
Okay, he didn't move at all.
Enemy sighted. Now. Ready to go. Gotta love nature.
I'm gonna take all the time I need to kill this guy.
Now.
Even if it takes me like 5 turns.
Here we go. Now.
So I think Alicia should be able to kill him now.
Enemy sighted.
Or not. Well, I misjudged, so we're gonna have to wait another turn.
Moving out.
Okay, well at least he's taken care of.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature.
Okay. So what's up here? Anybody? Probably, but I haven't seen them move, so... Let's just get Welkin over by that Ponicera. Wait, am I in the middle of... Yes, I am. Okay, Alicia should be able to make it to that in this single turn.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature. Ooh, there's some more Ponicera again.
Oh, the pain's mostly gone now. Thanks again.
I'm just glad it's working.
So, Welkin, is that stuff edible?
Why? Are you hungry?
Huh? No, I'm just... I wondered if I could use it in a new bread recipe.
Oh, I see. Well, the flowers have a sweet nectar to them, so it could be good. You tease me. We're sneaking around the woods and you're thinking of baking bread.
I don't want to hear it, nature boy.
Okay. Well, let's move on.
Okay. Well, that's not what I intended, but that's fine. Right, I think that's the goal over there. I wonder what happens if I just go rush to it with Welkin. I'm assuming Alicia also has to make it there. Otherwise, what would be the point of having to escort her?
Okay, this is probably a safe distance.
Right.
My turn, okay?
She still has to walk, but at the very least, she can move her full distance now. Okay, there we go. That was tougher than it needed to be. I mean, I was making it tougher than it needed to
We should be
be.
safe here, at least for a little while.
By not just killing the guys.
Let's look for a spot where we can rest.
Right. It's too dark to cover much ground even if we tried.
And somehow that was a C, even though it took that long. I spent like 3 turns just doing nothing because of like RNG.
Who'd build a cottage way out here? Not that I'm complaining or anything. How's your ankle holding up? Sorry to make you walk so far on it.
No, it's not too bad. Don't worry.
That's good. Still, let's get an herbal compress on it just in case.
It just figures you'd know about herbs, Vulcan.
This here is called Aloe severa. It's a succulent in the lily family. There's a jelly substance inside its leaves that helps combat swelling.
I should start calling you Dr. Nature. Very well, Doc. I entrust my ankle's care to you.
All right, that should do it. How's it feel? A little weird?
No, it's nice and cool. Thanks, Doc.
I'm just glad we found something to help you. The pain should ease with time, too.
So, Welkin, what got you interested in nature to start with?
Well, I don't know. I guess it had a lot to do with my dad's influence.
General Gunther's?
Yeah. Whenever he came home, we'd take a trip collecting bugs in the mountains or swimming. Somewhere along the way, going on those trips turned into a love of nature for me, too.
The General out collecting bugs? That's unexpected.
Maybe so. I guess other people see him as a big, stoic military hero. He had his own share of worries, though.
Yeah?
My mom died as a casualty of the First European War. I don't think Dad ever got over the fact that he couldn't protect her. But everybody else was always praising him for being a great hero. The war won him respect and adulation, but it also cost him the love of his life. I think that always weighed on him. That question of what he fought the war for.
I had no idea.
But when he was out in the woods playing with me, he was always so bright and happy. Maybe I fell in love with nature because it always put the smile back on my dad's face.
Oh, Welkin.
That was a nice little scene. Let's just finish this page off, and then we can move on. Or rather, then we can end the episode.
Alicia, someone's coming. Freeze!
What?
He's badly wounded. I'm surprised he can even walk.
Help me.
Welkin, do something! Well?
It's no use. The wound's way too deep.
It hurts. It's so dark. Oh, God, Mother! Mother?
It's okay. Don't be afraid. Mother's right here. Everything's fine. See?
Yes. It's...
And that's a somber note to end that on. So we will continue on to the next page and go to the headquarters and all that next time. But for now, we're gonna call it for this time. So until then, take care, and I will see you then.